Hey everyone, Luke here with another video. In today's video, I want to show you what it's like to ship out 100 phones at one time at a USPS center. We sat there for over 30 minutes. This is kind of a vlog style video, and I'm going to also tell you kind of some of the complications once you start to scale in doing more packages all at once. Let's go. Hey everybody, so here on the screen you'll see this was my post for today. So this is actually a picture in my living room, which is crazy. There is over 100 phones. I think there was 130. It was 130 packages that I had today that were all either phones or iPads. Absolutely crazy. And you would not believe what the complications are when you go to the actual post office or the postal outlet with all of these packages. So I actually got to film the entire encounter, and it's about 30 minutes long. Of course, I actually sped it up, so you're going to see like the sped up version, and we're just going to kind of cruise through things. But some of the complications that can happen when you start scaling up and start doing this many packages at once is, one, you might not actually find an employee that wants to do it. So we actually went up to the counter at the USPS office, and they didn't want anything to do with it. The guy started scanning the packages, and he was newer. I'd never seen them there before. And after he had scanned like 8 packages, he started looking around, kind of trying to see if there was anybody else that was maybe a little more experienced, and he actually subbed out and subbed somebody else in and encouraged them to basically take the job and, you know, just make them ship out the packages and scan them in and give me the tracking. He didn't want anything to do with it.
That's fine. Thank you. So like every 10, I just want a separate tracking slip because that's how I count to make sure that everything that I brought gets shipped.
Yeah, I got that part. I just don't know.
I don't know. I asked for you, but I don't know. Of course.
At this point in the video, the other guy completely stepped out. Grace stepped in. She's been with the company for 3 years. She's an awesome employee, and every time I go there with like 50 to 100 or more packages, she always does a phenomenal job. Now, what I do when I ship out this many packages, and just some of the complications of this, is that oftentimes they will miss your packages. They will not scan all of them in just because there's so many, and they end up missing one. I don't know how it happens, but it seems to happen every single time when you get an employee that's newer. That's why I prefer somebody that's, you know, been there a long time, because they have more experience. Now, what I do is there's this girl there named Grace, and then there's also this guy there named Larry. Larry's been there for like 10 years. He never misses a package, never misses a beat. He's super awesome. But what we do is when I have over 100 packages, what I will have them do is I will actually have them scan only 10 packages at a time, and then from there, I will have them print out a separate tracking slip every time they scan 10 packages. So basically, if I go into the USPS outlet and I know that I'm going to be shipping out, say, 130 packages, well, I know that I'm going to have 13 separate tracking slips then, all with 10 tracking numbers each on them. What this does is it helps it keep organized, and when I'm actually done finally getting them all scanned in, I look over the receipts really quick before I leave the USPS outlet and make sure that all of them got signed in. If I had them put all of these on one receipt, the receipt would be like a mile long, probably as tall as I am, and then on top of that, it would be really hard to just read every single one all the way down the list. So I do this because it kind of keeps things organized, and it helps the person scanning them in also. But these are just some of the complications as you scale. I know not a lot of people talk about this on YouTube. You know, they talk about flipping, you know, one phone here, two phones here, three phones here. But when you start getting up into shipping out 50 to 100 packages at one time, especially if you're doing big sales on eBay, reselling used and cracked phones, which that's what the majority of this was, and then iPads, there are some complications with it that you don't even think of until you actually get to this level and volume. And on the screen here right now, this is actually the clip from the post office. We were literally there for like 30 minutes, and this is actually the clip in 10 times speed in my video program. So it's pretty crazy. We were there for 30 minutes, but Grace was a super awesome sport. And then the USPS guy that you can see there in the background in the clip also, he was just super awesome. Every time packages were getting done, he was throwing them in the bag. So finally, once he showed up, she actually got some help. So it's pretty cool. I'm not sure how USPS works in other states, but here in Wisconsin, we actually have most of our outlets based in grocery stores. So a lot of them are actually open till 9 o'clock at night. So I can actually ship packages out at 9 o'clock at night, which is pretty awesome. They won't actually leave the facility at 9 o'clock. However, they will actually get scanned in, which is pretty awesome, which gives me an advantage here. I did notice when I was down in Arizona that you could only ship out packages, it seemed like, past like 4:30, and that was pretty much the cutoff because there wasn't any outlets in grocery stores, where over here you can actually drop packages off and have them scanned in up until 9 p.m., which is pretty crazy. I can tell you this, when you start to do same day shipping, especially if you're shipping tons of packages out on eBay, you do not want to slack off, because I actually had help today shipping out all of these packages, and it took me, I want to say, 5 hours. I ended up getting started around 10 a.m. because I had some other projects going on up until then, and I almost didn't make it. I mean, we were halfway through all the packages when the USPS guy showed up to take out the last day's shipment. They usually ship out around 3:15 p.m. Central Time here, so was pretty tight, but I got all of the packages out. Everything's got same day shipping on my eBay, which is pretty awesome, and everything is going out, everything's sent, and everybody's going to be happy. So besides that one guy in the beginning, I don't think that he liked his job very much today, and I feel bad for him because it is very overwhelming to a new employee to have to ship out this many packages. It's kind of a crazy amount. But that being said, there was a couple people that just kind of wanted me to vlog me actually shipping out a bunch of phones when I actually do it, just kind of what it looks like and some of the complications. So I hope this helps some of you scale up, and I hope it helps prepare some of you what's to come as you scale up into shipping out more and more packages, whether it's to direct buyers or it's on eBay. Obviously, when you're shipping to a direct buyer, you're going to be shipping most of your phones in one package, which is really awesome. A lot of people are also probably going to ask, why didn't you ship a lot of stuff to direct buyers? Typically, most of my phones that are cracked, broken LCD, or are really bad condition like C grade and then like B- grade, and they're unlocked, I typically sell those on eBay because they actually sell for higher, it seems like, than most direct buyers, and I don't mind putting them on eBay. I still like to build my eBay account. It's still a good channel to sell on. Like I've said in many other videos, never burn a bridge to sell on. You don't want to burn any of your selling platform bridges, because if a direct buyer no longer wants to do business, or let's say they leave the business industry, who are you going to sell to? So it's always good to keep your selling platform options open. So that being said, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.